Now, Harry and Meghan, yay, have sparked fresh waves of controversy after posing on a glitzy red carpet alongside Jamaica's Prime Minister, who wants to ditch the King as head of state. The timing of their surprise appearance at the Bob Marley biopic premiere in Kingston has raised eyebrows as Charles is preparing for his prostate procedure back in the UK, and the Princess of Wales is still recovering in hospital following major abdominal surgery. Now, the last time the PM, Andrew Holness, was seen with members of the royal family was during William and Kate's disastrous Caribbean tour in 2022, which was lambasted for its colonial undertones. The trip deteriorated further when Holness ambushed the pair, announcing that Jamaica would be moving on from the monarchy.
Jamaica is, as you would see, a country that is very proud of our history, very proud of what we have achieved, and we are moving on, and we intend to attain in short order our development goals and fulfill our true ambitions and destiny as an independent, developed, prosperous country.
Well, the PM is pushing ahead with plans for Jamaica to ditch the royal family and become a republic later this year. It's interesting, not all Jamaicans, by the way, side with the Prime Minister on that. Well, there is a bit of a divide. Look, I've never been part of the,
royal family.
Actually, I was a prince. But the Harry and Meghan, let's have a pop at Harry and Meghan. However, I do find it rather interesting that of all places you would end up would be, the only known world leader to be quite as vocal as that on Republican issues. Stroke rude. To be there at this time. When I first read it, I thought, oh, God, they're just out for a night at a film thing. But then I thought, do you know what, actually? There's no way you wouldn't realise there's a bit of a diary clash on this one. You're going to that one place where the leader has been very, very overt and very explicit about his Republican desires. At the same time, your old man, the King, the head of state of that country, is in hospital. I think it's a bit tactless. I don't think they should be in jail for it. I just don't think it's a great
look,
look.
it's very clumsy and very,
isn't it?
Very crass. How many well-paid PR advisors do that couple have? Surely, at the very minimum, if I was their researcher, I would have given them a little briefing note about Jamaica. And the first time I Googled Kings, Queens, Jamaica, I would have found a little bit of YouTube footage which would have shown that extremely awkward moment where that guy basically humiliated our king-to-be, Prince William, as he was at that time. And I would have said, guys, maybe this is perhaps not the best idea to actually make
but
this
Isabel,
one of the
you
big...
sound like you think it was an accident.
No,
as in it was stupidity rather than a deliberate.
No, what I'm
What
saying is that they must have had that briefing note, so they decided to do it anyway.
But they were. If I remember correctly, they were president and vice president of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust.
They were.
So also, what does it say about his relationship with his late grandmother? Because the Commonwealth was really important to her. 56 member states. She pretty much built the Commonwealth. It's a third of the world's population. And here's the grandson single-handedly destroying it. I think it just says that they are now a massive liability.
But maybe he was trying to smooth over some of those ruffled feathers.
You think that's what he was...
I'm being devil's advocate. Maybe he wasn't saying leave the Commonwealth. Maybe he was saying... please stay in the Commonwealth.
It's not really retrievable.
The more we're talking about this, JJ, I think this was on purpose. But remember, the previous two royals that were there were the arch nemesis of the two royals that are there now. And that cannot have escaped their notice when they ticked yes on the invite.
Well, whether you support the Commonwealth or not, the King does not own the Commonwealth, OK? And neither did the Queen. And
they never said they did.
No, they never said they did. But why are people so afraid of Jamaica leaving? Why are people critical of that?
No, go for it.
Exactly. So it shouldn't be a point of contention. If anything, what we have here is great maturity from both sides, because you've got Harry, who is still a royal, going to meet with people who are basically saying, we don't want your family in charge. It's going to be of detriment to him and his family. And he's still OK to go there and smile and shake hands with them. That's what I'd like to see more in this country with politics. Just because you're on opposing sides doesn't mean you have to be like, well, we can't
But the royal family is meant to be above politics. That's the whole point. Stop making political points.
But it's politics. But the Commonwealth is still politics.
And I go back to the point about the late Queen, I think, should be turning in her grave yet again over Harry.
But there is also the point which actually Sarah Houston was making to us when we were talking to Vanessa earlier on the show. And she was saying how sad it was to see in some ways because, as you were saying, because Harry and Meghan were such great ambassadors for the royal family in the Commonwealth, they wanted to have that role. That was, you know, that they were very serious about that. Now to see this is like a sort of reminder of such a wasted opportunity that they could have been on the front foot, you know, making the world fall in love with them and the royal family. And that's all been blown up, and how sad that is.
Absolutely, and you know, it's hard. Like Jamaica is not the only country to be going down this route. There are an awful lot of Commonwealth member states that are thinking about it or have already said they're going down this route. I mean, Barbados has gone, hasn't it?
I'm just trying to get my head around what JJ just said. JJ, come here, my child. I know everything you just said. Forget it, ignore it. This was all about tact and diplomacy and a great PR job. Aren't they very brave and forward-thinking? They went to meet the Prime Minister. He's a nice man.
Opposing sides agreeing to disagree and have a smile for the cameras, that's a good thing. Right. I'm not against it.
It would have just been great if he'd said, you know what I said to your brother?
Take it outside. Take it outside. Carry on.
Yeah,